What's going on, guys? So the 15K Q&A is finally here. I know a lot of you have been waiting for it. But before we start, I will say if your question was not picked, it's because I probably answered it already in the first Q&As. There was part 1 and part 2. I answered a lot of questions. Some of you guys asked the same questions that got answered in those. So go check out those Q&As if you want to hear my answer to that question. Or 2, it got lost in the damn comments because some of you guys asked questions on videos that had like hundreds of comments and I just couldn't find a lot of them. So there are going to be Q&As every 5,000 subscribers now. So there will be another Q&A at 20. So if you want your question really answered, answer it in that one. And I think I'm going to keep the Q&A questions to one video next time because looking through like 3 or 4 videos is terrible. Anyways, let's jump into this. The first question comes from my friend Chris via text message. If you could live the life of any comic book character, Marvel or DC, who would it be and why? Well, my brain automatically goes to Batman because, you know, he's freaking Batman. He has one of the best suits in comic book history. He's a playboy. He's got billions of dollars. He has no shortage of beautiful ladies around him. And he's, you know, banging Catwoman on the side all the time. But in reality, I don't know if I would want Batman's life. I mean, he's a human. He's basically, if I was able to spend all those years training and had billions of dollars and gadgets and I just became the most badass person in human life, that's Batman. Like, that's the most realistic character that is possibly to be able to do anything. I don't know. But in reality, I think if I had this choice to live the life of a superhero, I'd pick Superman. And the reason why is because with Superman, you get peace of mind. Not only are you almost indestructible, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, magic and kryptonite, all of that shit. But basically, in the human world, if nobody's walking around with kryptonite and shit, you could go into a war zone as Superman and bullets and missiles are just going to bounce off of you. Dude, trust me, you would never have to be scared of anything. You could jump out of planes, you could freaking bungee jump, you could live the life of a normal person, but you're indestructible. I would love that peace of mind. You could walk in bad neighborhoods and do shit and be like, what's up? What's up? What y'all gonna do? No, you're never scared. You're never scared unless somebody's gonna roll up with kryptonite and shit. And if they are, even if they do, you still got super strength and super speed and flying and shit. You can just run away if you want to. Like, Superman has all of these abilities. You can freaking laser beams and shit. Like, why wouldn't you want to live that life? And you still got Lois Lane. You're still finding time to smash Popeyes. So in the end, although my favorite character of all time is Batman, his life does have a lot of tragedy in it. Although he has all of this great stuff, he has a lot of bad stuff too, and they kind of balance out. Superman, though, it's like if there ain't no kryptonite or some magic people possessing him, he's like solid. And I think I would pick the peace of mind of being pretty much indestructible and having super strength and flying and all of that shit. Like, your life would just be so much easier. No gas, freaking go fly wherever the hell you want, all of that crap. You never got to worry about anything. Like, that peace of mind, I would pick that life in a heartbeat. This next question is a 2-parter, but I kind of already answered the first one, so I'm only going to go with the second part, where it says, would you want to inspire people to become superheroes, or would you rather be a superhero so other people don't have to? I would most definitely be the superhero, and that's not like an ego thing. It's not like, yeah, motherfucker, I saved all y'all bitches. I think it's just because through life, I've always trusted my own judgment over other people's, and, you know, I don't know, like, I mean, I don't drink or do anything like that, so as a superhero, I mean, I guess as a superhero, you probably wouldn't be affected by a lot of that stuff from what we've seen in shows, but anyways, I'm just saying, like, it would suck if, you know, other people let other influences influence them, and I've been really, like, to my morals, to, like, my freaking, I just had a good judgment in my eyes when it comes to things, so I rather have superpowers making these crazy judgments of, like, do you save this person? Do you get in this conflict? Do you do this? Instead of, like, somebody else. Like, because it would suck if you were just the normal person. And this is how people might view me, because they might not agree with what I do. And they might just be like, oh, fuck that, but, you know, whatever. I think I would pick my judgment over other people's. But the question was, would you inspire people to become superheroes? So, I don't know. I feel like that would kind of go hand in hand, because if you're a superhero and you're doing good, you might inspire other people to become superheroes if they have the ability to become superheroes. But yeah, I think I would pick the superhero thing for myself because I would trust my judgment over other people's. Next question, what's your job? I work in like a factory type place where we test stuff for automobiles. That's basically it. I'm only gonna read the first part of this question. It's like, why don't you do any review videos on Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, or Arrow? The reason why I don't is because there's not enough time. There's never enough time. There's never enough time in the day, guys. I work, with the last question, I work a day job, and my day job takes about 50 hours from my life. You know, driving to my job. It's about 20 to 30 minutes away from my house. So you're basically, I do an hour commute a day to get to my job, and then I work there. I usually get there an hour early, so I'm there for 9 hours. So about 10 hours out of 24 hours in my day, I'm freaking at work. And that's 5 times a week, unless they call me in, that's 6 times a week. So I constantly don't have the time to make these videos. And you gotta remember, I cover Gotham and freaking The Flash on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Walking Dead on Sundays. So that's already 3 days in a row that I need to film videos. And then Supergirl comes out, and then Arrow comes out on the next day, and then Legends tomorrow. I would literally be working on top of working, which is what I'm already doing. Like, so I work 50 hours a week, and then I come over here and I work on these videos for you guys. And it's insane. And now I know why a lot of YouTubers would only do one video, but you can't survive on one video on YouTube anymore. Like, the algorithm will just kill you, and they'll be like, bitch, one video, when we got people uploading 7 to 20 videos a week over here, hell no, we don't give a shit about your one video. YouTube has changed, so you need to make constantly a lot more videos, but if you don't do YouTube full time, that is really hard because you get burnt out and then you don't want to do anything. That's why sometimes I'll cancel the streams, or I won't, you know, because I just feel like so worn out if I popped out a lot of videos. If I didn't have a day job, I could probably pop out like 5 to 7 videos a week. Will I do that if I ever become a full-time YouTuber? Probably, because I want to do the daily dose every day. That would be awesome. But, you know, it's not easy when you got a day job because you get worn out. You know, you have a long day and you just want to come home and chill, but then you're just like, fuck, I gotta watch this show and blah, blah. It's a lot. So that is why you don't get those reviews. Sometimes you will get them if, you know, Gotham and Flash are on a bye week or something. We'll see. But that is the reason why you don't get those videos right now. Next question, have you looked into the P.O. box? What would you like for your birthday? Well, I don't know what I would like for my birthday because I feel like I buy a lot of my own stuff that I would want. But I'm always down with cool stuff, like cool little knickknacks of Batman and shit. Like, I don't know, I'm always into that kind of stuff. But no, I haven't looked into the P.O. box. The reason why is I have this weird, like, number in my head of, like, I shouldn't look into anything until we hit, like, 20K. Because for some reason, I feel like 20K is a solid number when it comes to that stuff. But I don't know. I am currently looking into shirts, though, which I think that is one of the questions here. Lucas says, do you plan on having any merch anytime soon? Yes, Lucas, I'm looking into it. I want merch, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to come up with like 3 or 4 designs, and I think I'll put it on Twitter. So, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter or you don't have a Twitter account, go make a Twitter account because that's where the poll is going to be. What I'll do is I'm going to come up with some designs, right? I'm going to post these designs on Twitter, and then I'm going to make a poll for you guys to vote, and whichever one gets the most votes will be the shirt I make, alright? So I think that's a cool idea. I have some solid ideas. One is going to be the basic Juicebox logo, which I think that should be the first shirt anyways, and that might end up being the first shirt, just because it'll be a cool little logo. I don't know if I want the logo with the circle, or if I want the logo without the circle, but I don't know. I'm going to come up with a few designs and we'll probably do a Twitter poll. So, more than likely, you guys should totally go make a Twitter account if you don't have one already, or follow me on Twitter at JUICEfromtheBOX. So, yes, I am looking into merch. I have not looked into the P.O. box. So, yeah. Next question, how old are you? Old, 28. What is your favorite TV show right now, and do you watch Legends of Tomorrow? It's great. Yes, I watch Legends of Tomorrow. It's pretty awesome. But my favorite show right now, like that is on air right now, would probably be The Walking Dead. But although I am really liking Gotham right now, but if you're talking about show of all time, favorite show, no, you know what? My favorite show right now is Stranger Things, because that's always freaking on, because it's on Netflix, and you just stream it whenever you want. So Stranger Things is my favorite thing, but of all time, Doctor Who. Can you show us your setup / studio? Here it is. There you go. You like it? It's awesome, right? I've been trying to make that video for a long time, and I'm sorry, I want to make it look cool, but you guys are basically seeing it right here. You just don't see this part behind the camera, which is, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I've shown it before, but I don't know. I want to make a cool video for you guys about it, but I just haven't got around to it, because again, I work a day job, but there eventually, sometime, somebody's going to ask this question at 20K again, and it's going to be like, can we see your setup? And I'm going to say the same thing, but eventually there will be a video about that. Kind of confused by this one, but it says, if you have to create your own original Batman characters in comic or TV show, I'm assuming, would I create my own Batman original characters in a show or comics? Is what you're asking? Yes, I would totally create them, and I do already have some in my brain for when I become the freaking prime writer on Batman one day. That is a goal of mine. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be the head writer on Batman one of these days. Tom King, Scott Snyder, the two last Batman ones. I'm gonna be on that freaking plethora. Is that how you say it? That's not even plethora. That's not the right word right here. I'm gonna be on that freaking podium one day of Batman writers. I'm calling it right now. It's gonna happen. This right here might be the hardest question to answer because it says, if you could have one storyline, it could be anything, adapted perfectly into the DCEU movie, what storyline would it be? Oh my gosh! This question is hella hard because one, my brain instantly goes to Batman Hush because I love that storyline. It has some of my favorite characters of all time, has an epic twist, and Batman fucking fights Superman in it. So it's just, oh, I would love that to be a DCEU movie. But then my brain goes over to Flashpoint. If Flashpoint was adapted perfectly, oh man, you would have Thomas Wayne Batman, you would have freaking Lady Joker, oh holy shit, and he would be played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan, who are on The Walking Dead, which is one of my favorite shows. Like, dude, I would love Flashpoint, but then my brain goes back to Batman, and it thinks of freaking Scott Snyder's Endgame. Because in Endgame, Batman fights the whole Justice League, Joker cuts off his face, and it ends with some craziness. And it's awesome. So I don't know, I would pick one of those. I think I would just put them all in a hat and just pick one out. And whatever one goes with, I'd be happy with, because all of those are badass storylines, and there's so many more. But the cool thing about Flashpoint is you would have the Amazons versus the Atlanteans, and I really want to see that battle. Oh man, but then you got freaking Injustice. Injustice is insane. I wouldn't mind seeing Injustice adapted to a movie either. Holy fuck, that is a hard question. Do you have a movie plot for Justice League or Wonder Woman or any other DCU movies? Are you talking about, do I have like the plot for the upcoming Justice League and Wonder Woman? Yes. I mean, I have ideas of what's going to happen. I mean, I could make videos on those soon, if you guys want me to. I was going to do a Wonder Woman trailer breakdown. I know it's kind of late, but I could still do it. So maybe I'll talk about it in there. And then we're supposed to get another Justice League trailer dropping around Christmas time. So I'll more than likely do a breakdown of that, and I'll talk about plot points in there. If you found out your dog Cosmo was a speedster, what would you do? Would you train him to save the world, or would you just goof around? I would fucking goof around all day. I'd be like, yo, Cosmo, you need dog food, dude, go get it. And I would just train him to just do stupid shit. Because I don't want my dog to get hurt. What are they gonna do? I mean, I guess I could train him to save the world and be like, we're gonna be watching the freaking news and be like, yo, shit, you need to go save them. And but like, Cosmo's like this big. He ain't gonna be able to really pick up anybody unless he's gonna be spinning shit and blowing them everywhere. But then who's gonna catch them? He can't catch them. So I think we just goof around a lot, and I'd be like, hey man, you want some pizza? Go get it. Here's the money. You know, I have him do weird shit like that. Next question, do you like the smell of your fingers after you eat cheese? Depending on the cheese, yeah, but I'd rather eat cheese than smell it. This says how much, but I believe it's how many times do you watch an episode of Flash or Gotham before making your review? I watch it once. What I do is actually something like this. I get one of these dry erase boards, and then as I'm watching the freaking episode, I just write down what I think is important or what I want to talk about. It's just bullet points. So like, if something happened between Bruce and Selena, I'm just like, Bruce, Selena, and my brain will remember what I want to talk about. So yeah, I only watch the episode once, and then I film it the following morning. Like I said, my job takes up a lot of time. I get home late, I watch the episode, go to sleep, wake up, film the video, edit it, and then go back to work. So it's pretty crazy, but that is how I do it. I only watch it once. Next question, what is your dream car? Mine is a Nissan GTR. I don't really have a dream car, to be honest. I mean, growing up, I always told myself, if I become rich and famous, I'm just going to buy movie cars because I like cars that are in movies. I was a big fan of the Porsche 911 from Bad Boys. I loved the freaking Mustang Shelby that was in Gone in 60 Seconds. And of course, I love freaking Tim Burton's Batmobile. So I would just buy stupid cars that were in movies. But that was back when I was young. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck about cars, to be honest. I'd rather spend my money on, like, traveling and doing stuff like that. I mean, you could travel in cars, I know that. But, yeah, I'm not really big into cars. It's funny because I work in an automotive industry, but I don't care about cars. I care about comics and stuff. But yeah, so no, I would probably just buy, like, cars from movies because they just look badass. And I'm like, oh, man, it would be so awesome to drive that car. So yeah. If you could pick the next actor to play the Penguin in the DCEU, who would you choose, living or dead? I wanted Philip Seymour Hoffman to be the Penguin. I thought he would have been an awesome Penguin, but he's no longer alive, so unfortunately we're never going to be able to see that. But I would have totally had him be the Penguin because I think he would have been awesome. Next question, is the community officially called the Court of Juice? Explain to people who don't watch live streams. Now, if you guys don't watch the live streams, you're missing out. And I got some news about the live streams later on, but yeah, if you guys don't watch the live streams, we talk about a lot of stuff in them, and they get really silly and weird sometimes, but we are always talking about what do we call this group, because you guys, some of you call yourselves Little Nuggets, some of you call yourselves Juice Pouches, all of this stuff. Well, in one live stream, we were just joking around talking about Gotham and all this other stuff, and we came up with the idea of the Court of Juice. And I was like, oh, you know what? That would be totally cool to call people the Court of Juice. And if you guys, because I'm a big Batman fan, Court of Owls is one of my favorite storylines, and to have it be called the Court of Juice was just pretty funny. So that's something what we're running with right now. I refer to people as the Court of Juice. I think it's cool because you guys watching, if you are big fans of this channel, you are part of the Court of Juice. So yeah, and it's a reference to the Court of Owls. I mean, I just thought it was hella funny. So that's kind of what we're calling it right now, because we haven't come up with anything better. But the Court of Juice is what this is, and it's awesome. Favorite shows list 1 through 6, Walking Dead, Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, Gotham, and Legends, 1 being your favorite, 6 being the least. Alright, well this is not really going to matter, but because I like a lot of these shows the same, and I don't think any one is too much better than the other, except for The Walking Dead. Walking Dead is number 1, that over all of these shows. Then it's The Flash and Gotham. Then probably Arrow, but I feel like it's on the same thing with Supergirl because the last 2 seasons of Arrow were terrible. Well, this season's been pretty good, but yeah, it would be Arrow, then Supergirl, then Legends. But like, I feel like they're all the same, and Legends and Supergirl kind of unfair because they're only in their 2nd season, so it's kind of whatever. But The Walking Dead towers over all of those shows in my opinion. I want to say I answered this in the last Q&A video, but I'll answer it again. DC or Marvel? I know it's unfair to ask, but still choose one. Who do you think has a brighter future? Well, I'm going to pick DC all of the time. But it's, you know, are you saying brighter future in altogether, like the company-wise? I'm going to say DC, their comics look a lot brighter. But, you know, the MCU is always going to kill it in their movies. The MCU, I think the breaking point is going to be what happens in Infinity War. If they still make a shitty villain in Infinity War, I think you might lose some people, because I think a lot of people know about Thanos, and Thanos, if he doesn't come in and destroy a lot of Avengers, I'm talking about deaths, if he doesn't kill them, I think it's going to be a big loss, and some people are going to be like, fuck this. DC they're not staying necessarily true to their stuff, but they are keeping that dark tone, and they're not forcing every movie to be silly and like laughs and everything has to be silly, because that's not the way the DC works. And I'll always pick DC because I have more knowledge there, but I prefer their writing. I prefer serious reality. And like there's funny stuff in all of the comics. Even Batman has jokes and stuff like that, but it's not overly done. And I feel like that's just how a lot of the personality of characters in Marvel are. So that's why you see those in the MCU a lot. And the MCU is trying to appeal to everybody. I feel like DC's not doing that, and that's kind of what's hurting them. But you can still make great movies and not have jokes all the time. That's kind of just what annoys me in some of the MCU stuff. But I love Marvel. Like, I love it. I just saw Doctor Strange. I haven't done a review on it. I know some of you guys are asking, but I haven't done a review on that. But I love Doctor Strange. It was very silly at points, but, you know, it was still a solid movie. But I get excited for all of the DC stuff because I'm just like, yes, I know those characters. I know those villains. And I'm just excited to see them on the big screen, finally. I'm super pumped for Wonder Woman. So yeah, I'm going to say DC, but I love both companies really awesomely great. Because they're great. And with that, those were all the Qs. I hope you liked all of the As. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. But as always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bam!